Okay, class, so now that we've read Thank You Man by Langston Hughes, we're going to think about how the characters are defined and described and what their character traits in the story. Does anyone have any idea what a character trait is? Yeah, so if you break down the word, we have a character, right? And what's a character? Tierney.
A person in the story.
Perfect, thank you. And what is a trait? Alyssa.
Something that describes someone.
Exactly. So what would a character trait be? Tierney.
Something that describes a person in the story.
Exactly, that's perfect, thank you. A character trait is usually a descriptive adjective that describes a character in a story through how the character acts and interacts with other characters and how the author describes them in the story. Thank you. So we're looking for evidence of character traits in Thank You Man. So can someone give me an example of a direct description or the character's actions in Thank You Man? Yeah, I'll give you a minute. Let's all look at the story and try to find some sort of description or an action of the character. Tierney, thank you.
So at first, the main character seems to be mean and very rough with her actions with the boy, but then later in the story, you realize that she's actually very kind-hearted since she feeds the boy dinner and gives him money for the shoes. I think they're shoes.
Yeah, exactly, the blue suede shoes. That's perfect, right? So an example of the character's actions, right, was she grabbed the boy, right? Was that one of your examples? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to write that down? So she grabs. Does the boy have a name?
Yeah. Somewhere in here. Roger.
Thank you, Craig. Perfect. So she grabs Roger. And what do we think that is a character trait of the woman?
I feel like aggressive, like not scared. She wasn't scared that he tried to steal her first. She went after him.
Exactly. So if we want to go in the back, character trait could be aggressive because she isn't scared of the boy. That's really good. So we're using inferences to figure out the character traits based on how the author describes them. Does someone want to remind us what an inference is after we write this down? Alyssa.
Something that's not directly in the text, but indirectly figure it out.
Exactly. Indirectly, we figure it out by looking at the text. We say, oh, she grabs the boy, she's kind of aggressive, and she isn't afraid, right? Perfect. But then we find out later, what did you say, Tierney, was another example of something that she does in the story?
She gives the boy money for the blue suede shoes.
And does she have a name?
She does. Do you know?
Luella Bates
Luella-
Washington Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, Mrs. Jones. Thank you, right? Because we want to give our characters names so we can get to know them a little better, right? That's right. So Mrs. Jones gives the boy money for the school, right? That's something she does. And then what do we think that says about her character, her personality?
She's kind of kind and caring each other.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Greg. She's kind. Awesome. All right, so now that we've talked about what a character trait is, we're going to do a chant to help us remember what a character trait is. So, all right, so you guys going to sing with me?
Yeah.
Who's excited? Woo! All right, okay. Going to find character traits. I'm so curious. It's a cool story. There are characters. We use our adjectives and make conclusions. What's that? Direct description. Character traits. I'm so curious. What's that? Character's actions. Make like a running motion or climbing motion. That's what the character does in the story. Character traits. I'm so curious. What's that? It's other characters' descriptions and words. We're going to have to make an inference.